Good morning. I hope you were able to make your test or your assignment corrections yesterday from Test Wizard. I did receive some back and I gave you some feedback on those things. Continue with the assignments every day. I think it's important to just maintain that routine, stay healthy. Remember, social distancing helps us flatten the curve. So do not, I know it's very difficult, but try not to be around people other than your own immediate family at this time. And yeah, we're going to go now to page 29. It actually says page 35 here, but it's everyone sees that it's actually it might be different. I'm having problems with this the way it works out here. But anyway, it's part three: energy, water, climate, ozone, and the atmosphere. So we're talking about ozone. We spoke about this in class. It protects us from ultraviolet rays. But I'm gonna. You guys should read that on your own instead of me reading it out loud. But there it is. So we're gonna look at question one right now. It says, state the name of the temperature zone in the Earth's atmosphere where the concentrated layer of ozone gas exists. Okay, well, it says right here that a concentrated ozone layer is between 10 and 30 miles. Miles is the unit above Earth's surface. So if we go to the Earth Science Reference Table, which is right here, let me get there. All right, and we go to page 14, which is here. And you can see one side says miles, the other side says kilometers, so we want miles. So if we're looking between 10 and 30, right? So if we go to miles, that's right over here. So it's 5, 10. I'm sorry, right over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if it's between 10 and 30, what layer of the Earth's atmosphere is it? We have troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. Since we're right here in this area between 10 and 30, right? That's the stratosphere, okay? So let's go back to here. Okay, next question. Explain how the concentrated ozone layer above Earth's surface is beneficial to humans. Okay, this we spoke about in class, but we'll just remind ourselves that ozone blocks harmful UV radiation. Okay, next we have explain how the depletion of ozone layer is helpful to humans. Right there, it says that. Um, so basically, if we get rid of that ozone, if we destroy the ozone, then what's going to happen? I think you could answer that question. Then we will have an increase in UV rays. And what happens if we have an increase in UV rays? That causes more things like skin cancer and eye damage. Okay. By the way, it also destroys plant life as well. So all right, now question number 4. It says, assuming clear atmospheric conditions on a clear day of the year, what do people in New York? Oh, sorry. Assuming clear atmospheric conditions, on what day of the year do people in New York State most likely receive the most ultraviolet radiation? So you want to ask yourself, okay, what day of the year do we receive the most sun? Right? And anytime we're talking about important dates of the year, we're talking about either the solstices or the equinoxes, right? Remember, the summer solstice is when we have the maximum amount of insolation. So that would be June 21st. Oops, that goes right here. Okay. So now we're going to go to factors that affect climate. Okay, and so remember, climate is the long-term average of precipitation and also temperature at a specific location. It's not climate and weather are different. Climate is a long-term look at what happens in certain regions in terms of temperature and moisture, whereas weather is more of a short-term variation that occurs. All right, so and we're going to get into weather in the next unit. But anyway, let's look at over here. Right, there's a map. It says state 2 reasons why the climate at location A is more moist than the climate at location B. All right. Well, so yeah, you could say location A is obviously near the ocean, and location B is a little bit further away from the ocean. Okay. Also, location A happens to be, there's two answers, is on the windward side of the mountain ranges. So as the wind moves towards the United States and then across the United States, if there's a mountain range here, which you can see there's mountains, air gets forced up. Upward air condenses and cools, and you have precipitation on the left, or in this case, the windward side of the mountain, which is on the left side, and on the leeward side of the mountain, you have a more dry conditions because air sinks. When air sinks, it warms up and it dries out. Okay, so there's two acceptable answers here. There's A is near the ocean, and A is on the windward side of the mountains. Okay? We're going to go into windward versus leeward. Don't worry, I covered my mouth with my elbow when I coughed just there, so you don't have to worry. So now we go to question number 2. Oh, I'm sorry, I already answered that question. It says, give 2 reasons. See, I'm slipping up over here. So basically, I'm going to put it over here. I'm sorry, X. Right over here. A is on the windward side of the mountain. So those are 2 reasons, all right? It's near the ocean, and it's on the windward side of the mountain. Number 2, state the climate factor that causes cold climate at location C. All right? Well, when you're at high elevations, the air is cooler, okay? And if we take a look at the reference table, we live in the troposphere. That's our layer here. As we get higher up, what happens to the temperature? The temperature decreases. Okay, we don't have any mountains or anything in the stratosphere, so, but if we went there, the temperature would start to rise a little bit, well, quite a bit. And that's why they call them temperature zones, because they actually alternate in terms of decreasing, and then increasing, decreasing, and then increasing. All right, so that's what we have. Okay, so now let's go here. Explain the climate factor that causes a cold climate location C. That would be high elevation. Okay. Number 3, explain why location D has a cooler climate than location E. Explain why location D. All right. Now, what factor causes that? So let's go up to location D, which is up here. All right. So remember, C was at the mountains. D is now here compared to E. We don't see any mountains there, but why is D cooler? Right? Well, that's because of latitude. Since the Earth is a curved surface, the locations that are closer to the equator, which location E is compared to D, has more intense insolation, more intense incoming solar radiation, right? So that's why at location E, we have a much the climate is going to be warmer than D because of that reason. All right, so location D is at a higher latitude. All right. Um, this is the only thing that I'm going to have for you today in terms of this recording. All right. So anyway, you've read the instructions on today's assignment. All right. So make sure that you keep up with them. If you're having any trouble, just send me a message or post something on the stream, and I'd be happy to help. All right. Thank you guys. Looking forward to hearing from you.